That's all. Okay, good. Let me look at which question is more interesting. Then we can talk about those.
Wait. Let me. I think the last question.
Last question. Okay, let's see.
Is it the last the 15? The question 8.
8. Okay. 8.
Because they asked like the similar question.
State the possible reason for drop in patient temperature.
Yeah.
So what is the possible?
I'll say the surrounding temperature got lower at that time.
Wow. Okay. But body temperature. Oh, so you mean the surrounding temperature will affect the body temperature?
Yes.
Okay. Does not make. Okay. So like I said, as long as your answer is valid, then they will give you the mark. But for this one, right? Patient, you know what's patient? Patient means sick person, right? So okay, high temperature means sick, right?
Yes.
You don't want that, right? So the temperature drop here, right? I suggest might be some medication, like they take some medicines. Yeah, so you take Panadol, then your temperature will drop, and then after that, because a Panadol is a temporary relief. Yeah, so one of the possible reason can be medicines instead of the surrounding temperature, because I guess the surrounding temperature, if it's colder, right, I think your fever will still stay there, right? Am I right? So let's say if you are having fever, it it does not mean if you go to you go to you go to the North Pole and then your temperature will drop one, right? No, right?
I don't think.
It doesn't work like that, right? And maybe your temperature will go up even further, right?
Why?
No, I mean, let's say if you are having a fever, so you turn on the aircon.
Yes.
It doesn't mean your temperature will drop one.
Yeah, it will not.
It will make it worse sometimes. So that's the reason why. Hello. Stay at your side, Stay at your side, Yeah, the kids are very cute. Okay, so medication now, or medicines okay. Anything else? Okay, so if we have not talked about this, so today I want to make it official. We have talked about this. So for percentage increase or decrease, right? So the way to do percentage increase or decrease is the formula is final. Did I talk about the formula? Final minus initial over initial times 100%. Initial means starting. Okay, so for this from 5 to 8, so 8 is the final lah, right? So 5 p.m. is the initial. So just look at it. So you must read this correctly first. So I just take this as a 30. Okay, 1 2 3 4 36.8, right?
75.
This one is 30. 1 2 3 4. It's 37.8, right?
I got 37.75.
Never mind. So just assume it's 36.8 at first, then 37.8 later on. So I will take this is the final, right? So I just take the 37.8 final minus the initial, then divide by the initial, then times 100%. Okay. So for over here, right? Your answer at last, you need to retain the percentage sign. So you just have to use the calculator to get this calculation out. Can you help me out? Yeah. Can you help me out? So what's the percentage? So I think it's 1 over 36.8 lah. So it's 2.7.
2%. If you round off.
Yeah, 2.7.
2.7.
2. Okay, so in a way, right? So this is not. Did they ask you to round?
No.
So you need to give an exact one, right? You need to give an exact one. So you just get it into a mixed number.
Wait. 2 and 33 over 46.
Yeah. So this is the most exact one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So just give it in this format. Okay, if they want the most exact. Okay, or if not, I think you can give it in three significant figures. Yeah, so that's also possible. Okay, so they say, what do you think the patient has recovered? I don't think so, because start with this temperature, then end with this temperature. Yeah, and by the way, this temperature is not a normal temperature. It is 38.6. 38.6 is not a normal temperature, right? Because they say normal means 37, so it means still sick,
Yeah.
so not recover,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
I saw wrongly.
Okay.
I thought they said 11 a.m. No, but they
Oh,
said
sorry.
11
Let me double
p.m.
check. I also maybe okay. 11 a.m.
I thought it's 11 a.m.
Still not recover because 37.4 still higher than normal, right?
Yes.
You still so, it, the only normal time is 5 p.m.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
the rest are abnormal. Okay, so in a way, right? This is another way you can cut short the axis. You don't want to write from 0 to 3, then you start jump to 36.
Uh-huh.
Can you see?
Oh,
There is this Z.
the
Yep. Okay.
yes.
Or the lightning symbol. So
Yeah.
you can cut short the axis. So next time we get to make use of this, then I will highlight this to you. Okay. But good to highlight this to you now, so that you have a first taste of it. Okay. So the rest should be. What about this?
I
So
think
this
I
is
get the
4.
answer.
This is 4. So you can use the. Can you use the formula?
Mine is
我哋行到邊個乾運台一估句啊？我咧so
the n minus 1.
so is it always 4 and 4 and 4?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you can use the formula 咯。
Yeah.
So the formula is
And a bracket.
沒有
n minus
沒有 first number
1. First number.
plus difference times n minus 1. Okay.
Oh.
So this is the formula for the when it must be 4 lah, The difference is 4 throughout, right?
Yeah.
Then only you can put the 4 into the difference. If you have questions like 1, 3, 2, then 6, then 10. So you can see you don't have a consistent difference. If you don't have a consistent difference, you try to use this formula, it doesn't work one. Then I will ask which difference you apply. You want to use a 2, 3, 4? I don't know. That's why you cannot use this formula for this type of pattern. You can use this formula for this type of pattern because the difference is consistent. Okay? So first number is 1. The difference is 4, so it's n minus 1. The n represent the which pattern. Okay? So simplify. 1 plus 4n minus 4.
I did the
So
same
it's
thing.
4n minus 3. Okay? So remember the formula.
I did the same thing, but I put n minus 1 at the first part,
Uh-huh.
then plus 1 at the last part.
Oh, okay. So you have to okay lah. Up to you, but I think it's good to follow this convention. Okay. So first number plus the difference, then bracket n minus 1. Okay. So write down the formula. So done. So this is the formula for n minus 3. Hence find the number of dots in the 25th. So you just give the 25th inside. So it's 100 minus 3 is 97, right?
97.
Yeah. So they say whether the if there are in the pattern, so 501 is equal to 4n minus 3. So it's 504 over 4.
Yes.
Is it divisible? Can you help me out? Is it divisible?
I think it's
Do you get a whole number?
126.
Or it's divisible?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's divisible, then that means you have the value of m equals to 126. You know, sometimes they will give you whether you have let's say they will ask whether 502 makes sense or not. How? Did we talk about such scenario last time? They ask, okay, whether there are, okay, maybe I just give you any number, 1020, whether this one makes sense or not.
Oh, which one?
1020 dots. Whether you go on and on, whether you will reach 1020 dots. Yeah. That means you go on and on, whether 1020 dots happen in this series or not? How do you decide? So let's say I give you question E.
Then you can calculate it.
Whether 1020 dots are possible. Yes. So how do you answer this question?
Like you can calculate
Yeah,
it.
try. I want to see your explanation and want to see your answer. Yeah. So basically you need to form this. Yes. So what's your N?
It
Mixed
cannot
number.
be a
Yeah,
N.
mixed number. Yeah.
255
Mhm.
and 3/4, 3/4.
Okay. So N equals to, so how? So how do you answer? Yeah.
So 120 dots is not possible
Why?
because the pattern, no, it cannot be a mixed number.
Okay. So the pattern number cannot be a. So
There must
basically,
be a whole number.
exactly. That's how you answer. So basically, the pattern number, right, must be a whole number.
Yes.
And in this case, it's 255 and 3/4. So it's not a whole number. So therefore, 1020 is not possible.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the reason. Yeah.
I calculate wrongly. Questions.
So
This question, can I use X?
yep, you can.
Because
Does it make it easier?
I don't know, but
You don't know. Okay.
I think I got the answer, but I'm not very sure about
Not
it.
sure. Okay, let's just talk about it. So this is like the ratio and the ratio and in fact fraction is a ratio, you know.
I don't like ratio.
So in fact okay, 1/5, right?
Yeah.
It's actually 1/5.
Yes.
Yeah. So just to let you know, okay.
Yeah.
So you have this Q, you have this E, you have this K, and you have Z. Sure. Okay. Then it takes 1/5 of the sum of the money. Okay. So after it has taken her share, then it takes 1/3. Okay, good. So basically you just branch out. Okay, so in case you have not learned this method, maybe you can learn it today.
I know branching.
So start with the total, right?
Yeah.
And then 1/5 of the T go to Q.
Yes.
So you are left with 4/5 left. And then it says 1/3 of the remaining. So 1/3 of this 4/5 T is go to E.
Yes.
So 1/3 of left is T E is E already.
Yeah.
So 2/3 left.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Then it says 1/4 of the remaining go to K. So 1/4 of this whole thing. So maybe you want to do a bit of simplification. It's 8/15T.
Yes.
So 8/15T is K, right? So 1/4, so 3/4 left. Okay, good. So Z. Okay. Then now what fraction of the sum of money is Z? So this one. So it's just 3, 4, 8/15, 5, 2/5, right?
Yes.
So it's 2/5T. So it's the fraction is 2/5.
X.
Yeah. Sure. So I'm just telling you, if you think this is easier, then you can use this.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This one okay. Okay, so I just want to talk about let me see. This question. What's your value for Z?
My Z 会 question
8A. I will share with you a common
I
mistake.
got -18.
Okay, good. So how I will do this question is very simple. -3. So x is 2. So that means 2 square lah.
Yeah.
Then after that you have a -3. So this -3 you need to put a bracket.
Yes.
Do you put a bracket?
Yes.
Yes. You put a bracket so that you cube the -3.
Yes.
If without the bracket, you cube the 3, which is not what you want,
Yes.
right? So therefore, for this question, with the minus and square, you do the square first.
Yes.
So you get 9, right? So
Yeah.
-9. Then for this, you get -27. because you punch the calculator for this. Okay, so therefore you get negative 9 plus 27. So yes. Eh? So you get 18 ma? Which part of you is wrong? Let me see.
Oh, I forgot.
For what?
I thought it's 3 times 3 equals 9.
Which one is 3 times 3? 9? No.
It's supposed to be 27. No, for the at the behind part, because it's like there's a 3. I didn't like look at it properly. I thought, then my brain thought it was like 3 times 3. Then I wrote negative 9.
Negative 9 then should be 0 ma. Plus ma. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Correct. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It
Yeah.
should be 27, yeah. Okay, good. I understand you, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but it should be minus 27. Huh? Why? Because it's negative 3, negative 3, negative 3.
It happened before.
Yeah.
During
So,
exam.
cube.
Yes.
What's the opposite of cube?
Square.
Cube root.
Cube root.
Okay, so why I need to talk
What
about
do you mean
this?
by the opposite?
Opposite of cube is cube root.
Oh.
Okay?
Yes.
Opposite of square is
Square.
square root. You might not need to put a 2 here.
Yes.
Okay? Okay? This one is simple. Just open up, then
Yes.
just factorize. Did I talk about what is composite number?
No, but I know it.
Okay, good. So, in fact, composite number versus prime number lah.
Yes.
Okay, prime number. The definition of prime number is
It only it has less than 2 factors.
okay. Actually, 2 factors,
Yeah.
1 and itself.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember, 2 factors, 1 itself. Composite number, that means
Yes, more than
opposite,
2
no?
factors.
Yeah, opposite of prime number. Yeah, more than. Okay. So this question is just follow the opposite of prime number lah. Then you get the opposite number. Okay. So I don't want to talk about it. Okay. This question I want to see how you solve. So let's see. Question 2. Correct. This is the way to solve. Okay, good. Good. You make a mistake here, yeah. Okay. This one you make a mistake here. This one very good. Okay, very detailed. Very good with the statement. Should be good. Okay lah. Yeah. So yeah, this type of paper is quite good. Yeah. Okay, good. So let me. Okay, which part of your term 1, term 2, which chapter you are not so sure and you still want some recap? So you mean you have questions from here? No.
This is my holiday homework.
Oh yeah. So you have any questions from your holiday homework?
No, not yet.
Not really. Okay, good. So let's
Yeah.
see the chapters here.
Because I haven't finished it, but I think it's quite easy.
Quite easy. Okay, so
Yeah.
so you see, your this 1A is until number pattern.
Yeah.
So then linear function graph, then linear equation, then which one you think you need a recap?
I think graph.
You mean this
I
one?
think we can.
Yep,
like,
6.4.
work on more also.
164.
Because I'm scared.
Good. Okay, let's talk about this type of graph. Okay, let's talk about this one. Since this is the last one. So let me just capture this straight away. Send. Oh. Okay, this one is not a very usual graph. Why? Because you will see there are different stages. So you have this OA. I consider this O to A, right? Is the first stage. AB second stage. BC third. Then CD fourth. DE fifth. Okay? So you have 5 stages of this graph. Okay? So maybe without me talking about a question, maybe you can do this question first. Yes. Yeah. Try it out on a piece of paper. I think this is the hardest graph questions that they can test you. I think. Something similar to this. Anything interesting here? Mm. Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
I have a question.
Yeah. Mm. Come.
That the first right?
A. Yeah.
Yeah,
Part 1. Okay.
A
How far?
is 40 km away, right?
Why? How do you get it?
Because A stopped at the 40 km mark. So can you
Cycle from home to office. On his way back, he stopped at a hawker center to have his breakfast. The distance time graph shows his entire journey.
So he had breakfast before he went to the post office.
So basically, this is home.
Yeah, and the
And
A is
on his way back, he stopped at a hawker center. Okay.
So A should be the post office,
Mm-hmm.
and then
A. Okay. A is the post office then.
Then
Yeah.
B.
Yeah.
But why is there a straight line
Yeah lor.
at A and B?
What do you think?
Is it the time he spent at in the post office?
Yeah. So in a way, right? For 1 hour, right? For 1 hour, there is no distance travel.
Oh, yes.
So what it means? Rest.
Yeah.
Rest can be, I don't know lah. Just no movement lor.
Yeah.
Just at the post office lor. Okay.
And then at
This is rest lor. Rest.
yeah, and then at C he had his breakfast.
B to C is hawker. So basically here hawker center lah.
Yeah.
Then also rest
Yeah.
Rest or eat whatever.
Yes.
Then to have the okay. So this home. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So how do you know the distance? 40. Just read, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is 40. Next.
Then he said the total time.
Mm.
That is 1 hour.
Mm.
But for C and D I cannot see.
Half
very
hour.
well.
Half hour I think.
So it's 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah lor. So half an hour. Okay.
Yes.
So it's 1.5 hour. Yeah.
say find the gradient of each.
Yeah, for the gradient of each of them. Yeah. How do you find the gradient of each?
O and A gradient is.
Okay, you find the gradient first because I think I want to talk about the gradient. Actually, there are some significance of the gradients. Okay, can you try it out?
The gradient is the line, right?
OA, this one, no?
The line, right?
Yep, the line, yes. This one.
Now what does it mean? Like represent? Is it
Like M, M equals to?
so?
Gradient is M, M equal, yeah. How do you find M?
M is.
What's the formula?
X. X times something.
No, the formula for M gradient. So one way is you can read the gradient of the. This is one way lah.
Yeah.
You can read it off the equation in the y-intercept. The other way to find gradient is
M is y minus the y minus the
wrong. X1 minus y1,
over.
x2 minus y2. Eh, no,
That's not. Is that the?
it's y. Actually, it's y1 minus y2, x2. Okay. So y1 minus y2, x1 minus x2. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So you find out the gradient first. Oh, so looks like you have forgotten already.
Yeah.
Two ways to find gradient. Read of the equation or find y1 minus y2, x1 minus x2. So this is by formula.
Y. Where is Y?
So this is your one set of x and y,
Yeah.
the other set of x and y. So this one is your
Y.
8 and 40 lah. This one is your 6 and 0. Yes. Okay lah, good. Then you sub it in lah. Then you get a gradient lah. Right? Make sense? Okay. So the gradient for the OA is?
Oh wait. So this is 6 is x.
Yeah, x1.
Is x
1.
1.
Yeah.
And then 0 is 1 y1.
y1, yes.
Is it 39 over 74? Is it?
So can you write it down first? Write it down. Don't use calculator. Write it down.
Is
Write it down. No need calculator. This one too simple. So what's the value you sub in? Tell me first. What's the formula you sub in?
is 20.
Yes. Okay. Why? Because this is your x1,
Yes.
y1 is your x2, y2, right?
Yes.
So y1 is 0 minus 46 minus 8. So I get minus 40 minus 2, 20. And positive, correct. Why? Because it's a slope up. So slope up is a positive gradient.
Yeah.
Okay? Next, BC. Yeah.
This is a down.
Yeah. So it must be negative, huh? But how do you get the gradient? You can see it. Let me just zoom in a bit.
940, 940, and C is 20.
Yeah, good.
C is
This is 10
10.5.
point.
10.5.
Yeah, 10.5. Yeah, 10.5.
10.5.
Yeah.
And 20.
This one you can use the calculator.
X. This is X. This is Y.
So what's your answer?
Wait.
No problem. Let me also do it here. What's your answer? What's your answer?
I didn't have a negative one.
Cannot be what? Okay, so first you should get 940 for the B.
Yeah.
Then you should get 10.5 and 20.
Yes.
Then you use the y1 minus the y2. Yeah, use the formula.
Yeah.
So how you sub? So what you end up with?
Is 40.
You use 40, ah?
Yeah.
Hold on, ah. 40 minus
Minus
20.
20.
So I need to use 9 minus 10.5.
Yes.
Yeah, so 20 divided by negative. Yeah. You have to write this out, okay? In order to get the gradient. If you don't write this out and you will be penalized.
Why isn't it 10.5?
不是 10.5 吗？这个 Just so you tell me this is 10.5, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Then 40 minus 20, right? So that one minus the one, then 8. Okay, hold on. 40 minus 20, right? Then 9 minus 10.5.
Oh yeah.
Unless you tell me this is not 10.5, right? Is this 10.5?
It's 10.5.
It's 10.5, right?
Yeah.
But just now you say this is 10.5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 10.5 because of you. So what you sub in?
I wrote wrongly.
Okay, you wrote what?
I wrote because I
Yeah.
thought that 10.5, right? Because it's like 40. First I wrote 40 minus 20.
Okay, yeah.
Then I thought that 10.5 can minus 9, but it's
Oh,
supposed
okay,
to be
good.
like
So the way to do this is if you take 40 minus 20, right? It's like up to down, right? So it's up to down, no? Just now you take 0 minus 40, right?
Yes.
So it's down up, right? So it's 6 minus 8.
Oh.
Okay, so the best way to avoid making mistakes like you just now, there are a lot of students who make this mistake, is to do what? Is to do this. Write down x1, y1, write down x2, y2. Sub in. Same thing. Write down x1, y1, write down x2, y2. Sub in. Okay?
Yes.
Just read. Okay, my y1 is 40, I put 40. My y2 is 20, I put it in. So I need to look at my x1 first, 9, so I put the 9 first.
Yes.
So not like depend on your head and then cannot. And by the way now it's what? Almost 6.
Yeah.
I think your brain juice is almost used up already, right?
Yes.
So that's the reason why, right? The more you need to, this is called guide rails. We talk about that.
Yeah.
How to avoid making mistakes.
Yes.
So when you have a 2-hour exams, right? So at the end of the exam, you tend to make mistakes. So you need to have the guide rails, especially like this. Okay? Use a different color. Let's say if you can't see it properly, use a different color so that you can see it. Okay? So just write down x1, y1 and x2, y2.
Yes.
Okay? You know why just now I stopped you from using calculator?
Yeah.
Because you try to
Because-
put everything in your brain and then I think all messed up. Then I keep your calculator and you start to write it down on the paper and it helps a little bit.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay? So then of course now I teach you to write down the x1, y1 and x2, y2 so that this is another guide rail before you before you fall off the cliff again. Okay? I don't want you to fall off the cliff.
Yes.
I want you to get it right. Okay? So therefore you get negative something.
Negative.
13 and 1/3 I think.
20. Negative 30. Yes. 1/3.
Okay, can you figure out the DE also?
Okay.
So as a practice, gradient of DE. And then at the same time, when you label, right, you at the same time just label the x1, y1.
Yes.
Okay, it's always a good practice.
12, 0.
So this one is
12,
12, 0, yes. And you are supposed to get negative because it's a slope down.
Equals negative 20.
Yep, good. Okay, so now I want to talk about something. So this one is gradient. What? I cannot remember already.
Gradient
The first one.
20.
20. This one is gradient minus 13 1/3, right?
Yes.
This is minus 20, right?
Yes.
So in a way, right, I think you can see the, okay, let's compare this gradient with this gradient. This gradient here. The BC gradient and the DE gradient. So what do you see? You see that the gradient, okay, I will label this as my gradient DE. Small one, huh? This is my gradient BC, this one is BC.
Yes.
So you will see that actually the gradient DE, right, actually is smaller.
Yes.
Because minus 20 is smaller than minus 13.
Yes.
Yeah. So what it means is smaller gradient. Can you see that the slope is slide down? It's a slide down. So this slide down is actually very steep.
Yes.
Okay? So in a way, if I talk about the positive one, so if this is gradient 20, this one is gradient 20. What do you think this gradient is? Less than 20 or more than?
Less than 20.
Less than 20, yes. So this one must be less than 20.
Yes.
Alright? So what I'm trying to tell you is sometimes, right, they might not need you to figure out the exact value. Sometimes they will ask you to they give you some lines. Just give you some lines. So maybe they give you M1, they give you M2. They just ask you M1 is equal to M2, M1 is bigger than M2, M1 is smaller than M2, and they ask you to just pick one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, then you should know that you should pick M1 is bigger than M2 in this case. Why? Because look at it's slope up.
Yeah.
Slope up, that means steeper means bigger. slide down, slide down, smaller means more steeper.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the trend. Okay, so in a way, what I'm trying to show you here is this. Okay, I ask you to figure out the exact value because I want you to be able to answer this kind of question next time. Okay, can? Without figuring out the exact value. Okay, so they say the speed at the following time. So 7. Okay, do you know how to find speed?
Yes. No.
For the gradient, this is the speed. So for this journey, OA,
Yeah.
20 is the speed. So it's a 20 kilometer per hour. So for the OA journey, the gradient is 20. So the speed is 20 kilometer per hour. For the BC is 0 because rest, no movement, right? So if I need to get this out, so let me just clean this up a bit. No need, just open another one. So what I'm trying to say, right? This is 20, right? So the entire journey, the speed is 20 kilometer per hour. Over here is 0 kilometer per hour because rest. Then this one is the minus. That one is the 13 kilometer per hour. Okay, this is 20 kilometer per hour. Then this one is rest. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay? So, in fact, this is the hardest, I would say hardest graph question they can ask you.
Why?
Yeah, so there is no why, I mean just like, because generally the graph we see is just a straight line.
Yes.
But over here has different stages. Over here just one stage. But over here you have like several stages. Okay? So different stages means different speed in this case. Or different gradients. Okay? So I think this is the hardest they can ask you already. That means if you can manage this question, then you should be able to do the rest of the question.
I think I can manage it.
Yeah, yes. But of course, you must get the gradient formula right. So it's y1, y2, then x1 minus x2. In order not to make mistake, of course, you go and label first. You also, let's say I label this as a 12, 0, right? So just quickly label x1, y1.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that you don't make because this will help you. Okay, it will help you to sub in values correctly. Okay, there is a tendency for a student to sub in value wrongly, then they will get the wrong one. Okay, one very quick guide for you is slide down is negative gradient, slope up is a positive gradient. If you don't get positive, you don't get negative when you are supposed to, then you can actually know that you are wrong already.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So okay, good. So I will say today we revisit some of the concepts. Revisit some of the concepts, especially the inequality, the inequality one, right? The inequality. What's the statement?
The inequality is that
When to switch sign?
when the switch signs is when the two numbers
No. Times or
switch,
divide?
switch the inequality sign when when the two number got divided by a negative number on both sides.
Yeah. So you either times or divide a negative number on both sides. So simple, short and sweet. Times or divide a negative number on both sides. Okay, then you switch the sign. Okay. Then of course you need to know like the opposite of cube is cube root.
Yeah.
The opposite of square is square root. Okay. Don't mess these two up. Square is not cube root. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So some students they mess them up. Then for this, this is a major mistake. Okay. Like without the bracket. Okay. Must have the bracket. Okay. Maybe I can show you the mistake list I have compiled so far from all my. That means all my students so far. It's not the entire list yet, but soon now, soon. I'll show you some of the common mistakes. Can be from you, can be from my other student. Okay, this read wrongly. So this is what? Speed, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So 3/4 of the journey, you see, 3/4 times 12. So the student read this as the distance already. So you see, can you see? 3/4 of 12 km per hour is 9 km. Wrong, right?
Yes.
So don't read. That means you need to read carefully. This is a speed. You don't take 3/4 times speed. Okay? You only take 3/4 times a distance, right? Okay, good. So don't make this mistake. Next. Okay, this is a very common mistake. So
Delete denominator.
okay, let me show you the other question. So this is an equation, right?
Yeah.
There is a technique for this kind of question. So you just times a 4,
Yeah.
then you times a 3.
Yes.
Then this one you end up 4a minus 4b,
Yes.
12. This is a plus. Because it's a plus, I don't need a bracket.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 3a, 6b. It's 12, right?
Yes.
So one of the technique for this kind of question is you can delete the denominator throughout.
Yes.
Then you will end up with 4a minus 4b plus 3a plus 6b equals to 1.
Yes.
This one you can delete denominator, but in this case, you cannot delete the denominator. Why? Because this is not an equation. There's no equal sign. This is an expression. Okay? So, common. Okay. Okay, so the formula, must remember.
Yes.
For the number pattern one.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just...
Comparison.
Okay, so this one must remember.
Yes.
Then put a bracket behind the minus sign. Yeah, I think this mistake is by you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then this is okay. Then by comparison, read wrongly. Okay, what do I mean by that? Can you see that m equals to 3?
Yeah.
And you know some people they write m equals to 3x.
Why?
I don't know. And then for the c is equal to negative 3, right? Then some just read it as 3. So state the y-intercept of this, right? So y equals to 2x plus 1. You just write down y equals to mx plus c.
Yes.
So m is equal to 2. C is equal to 1, right? So if they ask state the y-intercept. So what's the y-intercept?
Y-intercept is
Y-intercept is c. So you should just write c equals to 1.
why is the y-intercept C?
Y-intercept, okay. C is to represent y-intercept.
But isn't C the constant number? Like the one that keeps adding on?
Hold on. We are talking about y equals to mx plus c now. We are talking about this concept now. You don't talk about the other concept. So in this case, m is the gradient, right?
Yes.
C is the y-intercept. So if they ask what is the y-intercept,
Okay.
so c equals to 1. No? But the student give 0, 1. This is a point, not the y-intercept. Point and y-intercept different.
Yes.
When they ask for y-intercept, that means they want the c value.
Yes.
Nothing to do with constant. That one is another concept already.
Yeah.
Okay, can?
Yeah.
So you don't give wrongly. So the student give wrongly. Okay? This one real number 3. Okay, you make it today. Then the square root, then the cube root. Yeah. So give square, don't use cube.
Yes.
Okay. Then cross multiplication. Yeah. So must use cross multiplication, not any other method. Okay. So I will continue to compound this list of mistake list.
Yes.
So you don't make this. Huh?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good. So no question. Then conclude.